Okay. There we are. Hey, ladies.
Hi. Hi, our special guest for tonight.
Wow, aren't I lucky?
It's nobody less than Devon Larratt.
How you girls doing?
Good.
Yeah.
So I watched your first show. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Oh, okay.
You were getting a little bit risky there with your predictions, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago we did that one.
Mm.
We're gonna do a better show right now. We're just doing this for maybe 4 months, and then we will have more of a good show, I think. I don't know.
Well, you guys are gonna kill it, I'm sure. You guys are like the ultimate authority for arm wrestling. So you're like the first women's kind of point of view. Not that that makes too much of a difference, but it's nice to see.
Thank you. It's also a little bit because of you. You and me talked about it, that we need some women out there doing something.
It's so true. It's like you're doing it right in Sweden, but the whole world's got to catch on, you know?
Yeah. So what do you think, when you said that, what do you mean by we are doing it right in Sweden?
Well, I just feel like if you look at how many like high level and participants in Sweden you guys have that are women compared to men, that ratio is way higher than it is for, well, I know it's way higher than it is in Canada, North America. I don't know much about, Eastern Europe, but I think that you guys have got to be leading the world in ratio. I think, yeah.
In what
ratio? Like 2 parts flour, 1 part milk. Like women to men. Like you guys are you got to be almost even.
Almost. We have some bits left, but yes, we. That is what I think. It's why we have so many women that are good, not only in arm wrestling, but in any sports.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing as a culture, you guys need to spread that all around the world. Yeah.
Fia, do you see Devon all the time, or is his face half sometimes?
No, I see him all the time. I can't see you though. I can see only your mouth. But
that's like this more. This better?
Wait.
I can,
Do you see me now?
I see both of you just fine.
Okay, I can see both of you fine now too. And you, Fia?
I can see half of you and Devon.
Okay.
But it's okay,
because it's me who is taping this, so I think that how it looks like in my camera is the way it should be, right?
Yeah. It's you that counts. Yeah.
Okay, but so Devon, what do you think about your match with Dave? Congrats to that. Did you think that you would win?
I wasn't sure going in. I knew it was going to be close. I thought he might beat me. I knew that it was going to take everything. I knew I was going to have to be really aggressive with him. I think I was able to execute my game plan. I know there's a ton of discussion about how it happened. I think there's a lot of people that are, really spinning right now about the move that I used. I personally am extremely happy about it. I think that all the conversation is going to lead to a whole bunch of growth and potentially change. And so long as that change is positive, which I think it will be, I think it's just a really great thing.
Yeah. But I have actually one question about this. And we were planning this, that we were going to do this in a different way. But I'm going to ask you already about the King's move. Do you really like it, or is it that because you're so strategic and when you know that somebody can do something, you always want to try it and see how far you can get in it? From the beginning, when you started to train this, did you really like it?
Yes. Here, 1 second. Watch this. You see this?
Yeah.
What's that?
This is like my favorite jacket.
From Crazy
Okay.
George?
Ah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. I've always loved it. I grew up so George lives like 4 hours from me, and I watched my trainer, a guy called Troy Eaton, who was just awesome. He could arm wrestle really fundamentally, like the way that most arm wrestlers kind of strive to arm wrestle, and he could never get past George, never ever. And I really admired so much about how George armed. I mean, to me, it's about winning. And I wasn't able to do the move when I was young. I arm wrestled kind of fundamentally, but a lot of things kind of led me to go that way. I'm always trying to win my match. So I will pick the best move that I can to try and win. It just seems like as my King's move gets better, it's a really big hole in most people's kind of understanding or defense. Like there's not a lot of people out there who do the King's move well. And so the first time or second time that you pull one of these people, it's really like, kind of, and there's a lot of people that it just matches up really well with. So yeah, I love the move. I love any move that works well. Yeah, and King's move is definitely, I feel like now with the straps and the table, I feel like if you don't know how to King's move in the WAL, you're at a big disadvantage.
How do you train for the King's move?
Well, so the first thing, the way you train for the King's move is it's a top roll. Okay, so you're thinking about bending the person's wrist back. The setup is really similar to how you set up to top roll somebody, maybe with a little bit less commitment, but you want as much shoulder commitment as possible because you're gonna go out from there. So the deeper you can set, the more you'll be able to open. It's a lot of pronation. So in the gym, you're gonna do like a lot of belt work or towel work, just a lot of this. But the thing is all the strengths that you develop are gonna help you. Like you can use them all in the move. It's just that this one is kind of like your anchor at the end of it. The only real difference in the move that I've found when it comes to like what strength do you need is I found to do a King's move really well, you need a lot of grip. And I don't, when I arm wrestle, I normally don't use almost any grip. But if you're going to do a King's move well, one of the problems is when you King's move somebody, you start to roll before you acquire height, right? Mm-hmm. So you're not really fighting for height right away. Almost once you get your set, you're breaking into that hard roll, and you're not really posting first. And what that does is, if the other person's a good arm wrestler, they'll start to climb over top of your hand, right? But if you have a grip, you can kind of freeze that. Yeah. So that's different than most of the moves where you're just squeezing and you're kind of stopping the person from regripping just with squeeze alone. And it's a lot more drag than it is bicep. So yeah, it's a fun move. I love it. Craziest thing for me is my son starting to do it, which is kind of blowing. Yeah, he's 16 and he's King's moving. So the other day I was like, oh man, I'm like, this is so crazy. Like what am I doing here? But arm wrestling is a constant evolution. and what we know now in 10 years will be surpassed. And in 10 years from there, like they'll look back at us and they'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe they were arm wrestling like that. And I think that just the amount of strap arm wrestling that has been introduced into our culture over the last 7 or 8 years, I think is leading to a slight shift or an opening in the possibility that dragging is almost more powerful than this posting, which I think so many of us were raised on. So yeah, it's just neat, right?
Oh, something happened there. I can't see you guys now at all.
I can see you still. I can see both of you.
Yeah, me too.
Great.
Can you hear us?
This is better. Now I can see Devon more. Yeah, but you're a person that really tries everything you can. I mean, you go to Japan and you try this sumo wrestling, you try to run around the table, you are doing the time. I mean, and you're always trying different things like King's move, or you're trying to not stretch the rules, but you use the rules that you can as much as you can. And sometimes people get pissed, or yeah. What do you think? Is this a strategy from you to like get under people's skin, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first part, like with me, like going around, and there's so much to learn, from the different cultures, from the different way people train. Like if you stay like in your community, it's just harder to keep growing. But the more you kind of step outside and visit other parts of the world, the different cultures they'll just accelerate you really quickly in the way that you see things. I'm a big fan of what you mentioned, freedom arm wrestling. That's kind of my baby a little bit. And most of the ideas in freedom I borrowed from arm sumo in Japan. That's a lot of fun. It's just a more open concept of arm wrestling, which I'm always kind of trying to move towards. I just think that the more choices and the more options we have as arm wrestlers, the more fun we can have. Because I think that while strength and fundamental arm wrestling is really cool, I think that what I really like to see is a good fight, and I like to see someone who's maybe not so strong still be able to win because of technique and things that they've learned. When it comes to stretching the rules and getting underneath people's skin, the things that I've learned is stretching the rules. I think is almost your responsibility as a good fighter. If you're disadvantaged, like if you're in control of the match and if you know that you can win, you don't have to do all this stuff. You're probably good just to enjoy the match. But in a close match, I feel like you have to do every single thing you can to get the victory. And that idea right there kind of messes with some people. Like some people like it. Some people think I should be more sportsmanlike, but I don't see it that way at all. For me, there's a division. I really love the sport of arm wrestling. I love the people in it, and I love the growth that it gives all of us. So I think that I do love the sport, but I also think that in order to play the sport properly, we have to go out and give everything. And everything means stretching rules, being on the, having the ref almost throw you out. Like it's all part of it. And I think that you can start to know somebody a little bit when you poke at them,
Yeah, that's it's also something that I like with you, that you are doing all these things, and people are talking about that it's not fair, or that it's not sportsman's like, and but it is like you're still using the rules that we have. You don't you don't kick somebody in the face or whatever. I mean, you're using it as much as you can until the referee says that you get a foul. So why does people get so annoyed by it when you're using the rules just because they don't use it that much? They are like, I don't know, narrow-headed. They don't think about it.
I think that people get uncomfortable by for a lot of things. I think that you know, if something makes you uncomfortable, you should think about why. I think, and I'll tell you, the thing that I do is I expose myself to losing really big, right? And that's scary for me. Like when I get a match, a part of me is just like, shut up, Devon, don't say anything, come on in underneath the radar, you know, because you might lose. And if I say all this stuff and then I lose, I'm going to look stupid. But I think that if you really want to have fun and you want to have risks, you have to expose yourself to this big potential that you are going to lose and you are going to look a bit silly. But that's fine. I mean, it's just arm wrestling. But I think that concept troubles some people, not everybody. I think that a lot of people enjoy the exact same things that I do, and they're doing it because they want to have those feelings. They want to feel that element of risk. You know, they want to lose big or win big. You know, either way, they want to put the chips on the table. You know.
Is it how you feel that you're like? Is it is it for the show, or is it for you to feel like you are that kind of person that say all these things and you feel stronger and bigger, and or is it just for the show?
It's both. Okay, so there's definitely that inside of me. Like I feel like it's grown over the years. I think that when I first started arm wrestling, when I was in my 20s, I was as respectful as I could be. I was very sporting. I never said a bad thing about anybody. And arm wrestling back then, I mean, you guys remember it was smaller. Like, I mean, a lot of that has to do with the internet and all the promotions that have gone on. But what I realized just, by watching YouTube, by seeing what people responded to, by talking to former champions, what I started to realize was that while there is a small percentage of the population that really loves arm wrestling, like I will watch almost any arm wrestling match, and people don't have to say anything, people don't have to do anything. I'll just enjoy the match. But then there's a much larger percentage of the population that loves drama, that loves the story, that feed off tension. And so what I started to realize is if we want to build our fan base, we just have to show this side of it. We have to show this side of why do we do it? Why is this match happening? Why do I care to watch it? So so it is part of how I feel. I mean, we all have reasons why we're doing the sport. And I think that this is really important to showcase. It's just if we want to reach a wider audience,
But because that is what I have been wondering, if your purpose of arm wrestling is that to be the best arm wrestler, or is it to make the sport grow bigger and you getting to get known because, I mean, you have so many followers. What do you think about that? How did you get that big, do you think?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I've always wanted to be as good as I can be. And not only as good as I can be, but as good as I can be for as long as I can be. So I don't have any intention of like winning this or getting to this level and then disappearing. For me, I'll love arm wrestling until something pulls me away from it. but it'll probably be death. That'll be probably the only reason I'll leave. But yeah, I also know that in order for arm wrestling to be really good, like for us to get more out of the practice of doing what we love to do, we have to increase our exposure. We have to get the word out. We have to make people care. We have to make people notice. So yeah, I'm trying to do a lot of things. I'm trying to grow the sport, and I'm trying to be as good as I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fia has her son there, if you wonder.
So
he's,
great.
Playing some computer games, I think.
Nice.
But also the match in WAL 504, how many views did it have, your match?
Yeah, a lot. So I think the crazy thing is so that match took off for whatever reason. I think last time I looked, I think we were at 93 or 94 million on. Yeah.
I didn't dare to say that we were talking about this, I think it was our last show.
Yeah.
Because it sounded so many views. So I was like, it can't be that much.
And the crazy thing is I thought that WAL must have spent a whole bunch of money and they must have boosted it, and just pushed it everywhere. I was talking to Steve and I'm like, okay, how much money did you spend to get us all those views? And he was like, you won't believe it. I spent $2 million. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't spend any money. Zero. It's completely organic. There was not a single boost put on that video, and we reached 94 million. So things are changing in our sport. I mean, that's a serious number.
It is a serious number. And also, everybody's saying all these things about King's Move or about you doing what you can to get under people's skin. You're sitting with the referee, or you're talking, you're talking before the match. It pays off. Nobody.
So this is proof that we are on the right track. It's proof that all these things that we are doing, we are reaching a greater audience because of it. It upsets me a little bit that our kind of nucleus, like our core community, we have some really vocal people who see things like a little bit negatively. Like, I understand, like, we all have our vision of the sport. We all do. But there's a positive way to approach things and there's a negative way to approach things. And I think that when people, so we had this opportunity, like we have like 94 million kind of eyeballs on us for just a second. And maybe whatever, say 1%, okay? Say 1% of those people actually look a little bit closer. And if the first thing they see is all this negativity, it's a little bit unappealing. And that upsets me a little bit because I feel as a community we should try and be a little bit more positive about just about any issue, because people are looking. Like, we do have the attention of a much larger community than what we're used to. And I think that when people see, I think people are drawn to positivity, And I think that's what we always should kind of strive to be. Yeah. I was gonna go smear some people. Matt.
But I think that these people that don't like this, maybe they don't want to change. They don't care if the sport grows bigger.
Right.
They're satisfied with how it looks like, but you have to be fair and you have to do what you have always done. But I mean, This shows that the world, if we are more people that want this sport to get bigger, I mean, just by yours and Dave's match in WAL 504, you can see how cool it was and how big it got just from you doing that.
the great thing about this life that we have is if you're not happy about something, you can create anything you like. You know, that's the great thing. So we have these arm wrestling federations, and they all have kind of their unique cultures. You know, they're all a bit different. So you can choose to support any one of them. And if you're not happy with even what those are, you can create your own association. Like, and I
If you're
wish.
Devon Larratt, you can.
No, anybody can. Anybody can do
You
their
have
own.
your fear and your way of thinking outside the box. I know
Right.
what you're saying.
And that's why I create freedom, right? That's because I want it to be totally wild. Like, it was neat. You know, I learned that idea from Game of Arms. In Game of Arms, we were basically told that the referee, I don't even know if we were told, I don't really remember, but everybody knew that the referee had almost no power. Like, there was somebody standing there, but everybody knew that they really weren't able to do anything. And the interesting thing to me was I felt like the right person won almost every time, and that the matches were just as good, if not better. So I think so long as both competitors know the rules, know the culture, nobody should be complaining, you know?
Yeah.
So how are you two doing? Are you guys good after your Smashy Fest?
We don't talk anymore.
No?
We just have this show, and that's where we see each other. We pretend everything is fine.
So when's the next time you guys are meeting up?
On Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Not this Friday. Next Friday.
No.
Oh, not
you gonna get some revenge, Fia, or what?
Yes.
It's good.
What did you think about our match?
What's that?
What did you think about our match?
It's great. It's great. I don't know. Fia, what happened? What happened? What happened? I thought it was gonna be closer. I'll tell you. I really did. I know that you two have trained together so much and have such a long-standing rivalry. I thought that this match was going to be really, really tight. Yeah. Got to hand it to you, Malin. Good job. Good job. I mean, I think you two are the best two in the league. So, do you guys know what's going on for the finals? Are you guys, either one of you two poking around, or?
No. No, I don't think that I'm not. I don't think. I got to know that even before our match that they were not
too good.
Oh no, but they have something else in up their sleeve, I think, which will be very interesting. I think we will see if it happens. But yeah. By the way, Victoria Carlson has texted me here her Skype number. We will call her later.
Oh,
what do you think about the match and Tatiana Faria from Brazil, the upcoming WAL 505?
Yeah, I think I've done a few reviews on the match so far, and I've picked Victoria. I've picked Vicky to win, but I think, you know, I really want her to win. I know her a lot better. I know that Tatiana did beat her the last time, and they were both like in an open top roll, really like it was very close. If she had just walked her hand over, it would have been, the match would have looked totally different. And I know, so didn't Erica pull Tatiana last year?
Yes.
And Tatiana kind of killed her, right?
Yeah.
And Victoria and Erica are kind of close, right? Kind of close?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen them pull for a while.
I don't.
Yeah.
So the thing is I think that, so the match where she walked over wasn't in the straps. And I'm pretty sure that they will be in the straps for this one. I think I really think Victoria's going to win. I really do. I think that Tatiana is probably a bit faster, and maybe a tiny bit stronger, maybe. But I don't know. I just really think Victoria's going to outlast her, and I think she's going to come back and win. I don't know. Maybe 3-2, maybe 3-1. But
like Pia always asks, and she asked this when I picked you for your fight, which I was right on that he would win. Anyway, do you say this because you know Victoria better, or do you say that because you think that she will beat her?
Yeah, I'm a little bit maybe guilty on this one. Maybe a little bit. Like, you can't help but kind of be a little bit biased when you really know the one person and don't know the other one quite as much. I know Tatiana's a great arm wrestler. I've watched her a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused with who I want to win and who I think is going to win. On paper, everything suggests Tatiana wins, right? She's got the winning record. She's beat people that I think that Victoria's comparable to, but I just can't help but root for Vicky and think she's gonna win. I don't know. I really believe that she's gonna. I think it's gonna be a nail biter. I think she's gonna turn it around. I think it's gonna be 3-2. I do. I think it's gonna be a great match. We know that both of them can pull long and hard, so yeah, I'm hoping for a screamer. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Do you think Tati will win the first match? Or do you think
I do kind of lean towards her getting out of the gates a bit quicker. I don't know what's going on in Brazil, but I feel like most of the top Brazilian arm wrestlers are all very explosive. And I think that she probably will get out of the gates fairly quickly. But I think that Vicky's got more experience in the WAL system now. I think she's fresh off of a great fight with Nancy Locke. And I think that she probably learned a lot from that match, just, being in the environment. Yeah, I think that match stops in any kind of good position. And I think she'll just reel her in just a little bit. Because sometimes when you do those fast starts and you're going for that pin and you don't get it, that'll get you in trouble, And I think that Victoria plays much of a longer game. I think that she's not really hitting for the pin normally. She's a positional arm wrestler, so I think she's gonna get it. I do. I think it's gonna be 3-2.
It's gonna be an awesome match. I think Tatiana has taller forearms. Which I'm scared of because Victoria always ends up losing her wrist a little bit. Yeah. I know that she has been training a lot for this match now, and as you say, she's used to WAL rules, and she has her second match there was much better than her first. She pulled better. She was more there mentally, I think. So that talks for Victoria. I also hope that Tatiana is not so fast, because then I think that Victoria can lose. But if Victoria just can hold her a little bit and, as you say, just get some position and go in and tire Tatiana out, then she should win. But we're also
in the straps, the long arm doesn't matter quite as much.
Yeah, we will see. It will be very, very interesting. What do you say, Pia? Who's that behind you?
This is Vidar, my son.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Vidar. Hey, Vidar. He looks so much like you. He doesn't want to be in this show.
Nice poster back there. A nice poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also think that Vicky will back to the match. I think she knows what she has to train, and she have watched these matches over and over again, and she knows she loses her wrist. So I think her main training have been to not lose the wrist, and the pronation in her wrist and to be able to keep that and not lose it. And also, she's not afraid of long fights. She's almost every match is long.
So I have a question for you two. Who are the best girls that need to come to the league?
I have one.
Or anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah. Which matches do you want to see? Who are the best girls that we're missing?
Oh, I have a lot of I have a lot of girls I want to see on the show. I want to see Irina Makeva. I want to see Gabriela Vasconcelos. I want to see Egle White. I want to see also, we have this really young girl in Sweden, Elin Janeheim, that is 16 years old.
Tell me about her. Yeah.
You can put almost any opponent to her and she will beat them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In her country. She is super strong.
Okay. Good.
I agree on all of that.
Yeah, my Swedish ladies.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We were just talking about which women do you want to see arm wrestle?
Yeah, Devon Larratt first. She can take on Elin Janeheim.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a good match.
Good girl. Kicking ass.
Yeah. That's the one you said you were afraid of a little bit?
Ooh.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if we said that we were afraid of anyone.
They've never said
those words in their life.
That's never came out.
Let me use that. No, I'm strictly gymnastics these days.
Huh?
I'm strictly gymnastics these days. Not really. I'm just going to my gymnastics right now.
How good is Irina Makieva?
Oh my God, she's so good. She's really, really strong. I would like to see her and Gabriela again.
Who's got the winning record? Gabriela's been beating her though, right?
No.
Okay, so Irina still wins.
Or did she win once? Didn't she win once?
But they're in different categories, right?
Yes, they are.
So Irina's 80 and Gabriela's 85, is that right?
70.
70. Gabriela's only 70.
She doesn't weigh 70 usually. She goes down to 70, what I have. So they could both meet in 50 kilo, I think. It wouldn't be a problem. It would be a really good match.
I feel like Makieva is so strong. Like,
yeah.
I remember meeting her in Dubai. After the competition, she was hammer curling 80 pounds. And she was only like 18 years old.
I remember that. It was when
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Was that the first time you and me met?
Yes, that's right.
I was at the Worlds 1998 in Canada.
I wasn't there.
You were not there? Oh, okay.
No. I was in Tokyo the next year.
Pia was there, right, Pia?
No. Heidi was there. I was not there.
Yeah.
Was it Canada?
Yeah, it was 98. No, that's after. You're thinking about 2003. Yeah.
2003 where?
Canada, in Ottawa.
I think it was.
There. I was there.
Were you?
I wasn't.
I was.
You were?
Just watching with a baby and Greg Boyce.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's when Travis beat Vovoda.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw Travis. I was like, who is this guy?
I lost Malin. We lost Malin. Who? There you go. You're back. You're back.
Yeah.
Can anybody beat Egla Vaituika?
Yeah.
Makeva beat her.
Makieva can beat her.
Yeah.
Can. Doesn't say that.
There's
Yeah,
another
I don't know.
girl from Kazakhstan, right? Who's like really big and strong, right? Isn't there? She's at WAF. She won a few years ago.
Yeah, it was I think it was a Belarus that won over Egle one year.
With left, right?
I just remember watching, and I was like, every time I see Egla, I just assume she's gonna win. And I remember being like, oh my God, who is this girl? I've never seen her before. But I haven't seen or heard much of her since then.
I think she lost later that year against both Gabi and Egle at Slotty, but I'm not really sure. But I think she lost there.
But
What about
for Egle, I think it's mostly like mentally, because she looks like sometimes everybody expects her to win, and then I haven't seen her that fired up lately.
right?
She's a calm person anyway. I love her. She's one of my favorites. All the girls that we're talking about are my favorite.
She reminds me a little bit of Pushkar.
Yeah?
A little bit.
In what way?
Just how she's dominant and just kind of just crushes people. It's like, reminds me a lot of the way Pushkar was just able to just kill everybody, you know.
And so calm, and she's not saying much. She go up to the table and like, and then she go down. It's super cool.
What about lightweight girls? Snezana and Elizaveta.
Yeah.
Those were, it would be a good match, right, Fia?
That's a great match, right?
Yeah. Both very fierce ladies and very, very, very strong. And don't they always, I mean, they can beat each other, right?
I think it was the first time Elizaveta won against Snezana.
First year, I think. Yeah. First year.
Yeah.
But have been pulling tough matches for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's always been great to watch them pull. Maybe they could come to WAL. That would be awesome.
Match. That'd be a good match. Yeah. And what about Sarah? Is she coming back? Oh, do we know something, don't we? We all know something. I guess we can't talk about it yet, but I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I mean, theoretically, if she came back, it would be great. She's a monster, like in the hook. I love to watch her pull. She's such a technical girl, and she's so strong, and she can really, really, really go into deep hook, and it's so beautiful when she pulls. I love to see her pull.
Did you see her pull at men's class just a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
It was great, right?
She's super cool.
I normally really don't like to watch women and men arm wrestle. I really don't, but I did enjoy that a lot.
Oh, that's good. We have had a discussion about that, because in Sweden I have been pulling a lot with men in men's class, especially when when the best women is not there. I feel that I need to compete with the men to get fired up. So I have done it a few times, and you have said that you don't really like it. I don't know why, but
I'm happy if you win. You know, I just don't like to see a man beat. Like, I don't like to see a man beat a champion woman. I don't really like to see it, just because I worry so much that the woman might get hurt, and I just rather her save herself for, like, you know, the competition that is really relevant. I don't know. Look, as long as you're having fun, I'm all behind it. But
Devon, that is what we're talking about, equality. I know it's not equal that a woman competes with men, but if the woman competes, like me and Thea, we are both world champions. If we compete with amateurs, like they would never, I mean, most of them would never get a medal at the world championships. And maybe they would if they trained hard, but we train so hard. Like, we train to beat the best. They train to be the best in Sweden. So, and we don't weigh that much. Like, the men in our weight category are not that big. So why is it so bad if we're doing it? It's still that we are pretty equal. Do you understand what I mean?
No, I do. I get it. I guess what I don't mind that if it's your choice, I think that's fine. I never have a problem with that. I guess the two things that I have problems with is like when it comes to men and women arm wrestling. The first thing is I don't like the idea that a man can become a woman and then compete with women, and that be their choice. I don't like that.
Do you remember that we have a little clip about that?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, you can insert it here. I don't care. But yeah, I think that's not really fair, and I think that we're not doing like I mean we have divisions to protect athletes in the sport. Like if I want to pull the 187-pound class, I don't have that right. I don't have a right to pull less. If lesser wants to pull up, that's their choice. That's fine. And I don't think that men should be allowed to switch over and decide that they're women. I don't think it's fair. So I do have an issue there. The day that a man wins or even gets to compete at a high-level competition against a woman and it be presented as legit, I'll probably be quite vocal about it.
But I think it's on its way to happen now at the Slotty Tour or at the World.
It's terrible.
I've heard something about it. I don't want to.
When that man wins a medal in a woman's class, I think we will be doing the sport a great disservice. I don't think that it's protective of our athletes. I think that we have to always think about the majority as opposed to the minority. And I think that the majority should always be protected and not the rights of the minority be greater than the rights of the majority. And I think that's what we're doing by letting men compete in women's divisions. And then I think that the second thing is as soon as a woman gets really good, I think that the first thing that promoters want to do is start to throw men at them to challenge them. And I think that that's fine if the woman agrees to it. But I just also know that as an athlete, you feel pressure to say yes. You feel pressure to accept challenges. And
I agree with that because it's so hard. Like every time there is a strong beginner or they are always like, yeah, Malin here, you should pull her. Okay, if it's a practice, but if you're on a competition and people want to beat you or I understand what you're saying and I don't feel always up for it. It's hard.
Yeah. Like I think we should just let people pull in their divisions.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to ask something, Fia?
What should we ask?
What we should ask? I don't know.
Well, then maybe I'll ask you guys. What's next? Are you guys going to IFA?
We don't know. We have to vote for that later this fall, I think. If we gonna join IFA. I think we will, but we haven't decided. The Swedish Federation haven't decided yet if we will join.
Okay.
I mean, we have decided to go out from WAF. So
yeah, we have
WAF. Now we have to decide if we're going into IFA, and I think it's 99% sure that we will. I mean,
I'd be pretty sure. I mean, Anders is the man, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah. Are you going to China?
China?
You going to China? No?
I'm just joking. What competition is that? K1? No, what do they call it? Yeah?
D1 China Open, second phase of the top 8. September 12th to 15th.
Bye, ladies.
Hi. Hey.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. I haven't planned anyway. I don't know what my plan is quite yet. I don't even know if I pull. I will pull at the World Championships if they allowed me to do it because I didn't compete at the Swedish Nationals because I had my kids, and my ex-husband was out of the country, so he couldn't take the kids. So I didn't compete. So we don't know yet, or I don't know yet if I can compete in at the Worlds. But if I can, I will do that, I think.
Mm.
But I don't know about China. We have to look into that. And you, Fia, what's your next competition?
I'm not sure either. I think I want to participate in the Nordic Open Nordic Challenge. I think in October in Stockholm. And
what's the date on that?
The Worlds probably, and maybe Slotty. I'm not sure.
What's the date on the Nordic Challenge?
Molly, do you know that?
Sorry, so many people. The dates. Did you say in October?
I think so.
I don't know yet. I saw it today on the Facebook, but I don't know what. I think it's in the end or in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the beginning or in the end. I think I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I'll try and figure that out because I'm gonna try and head over to that part of the world around that time. So who knows?
I can send you a message. I look it up and then I send you.
Perfect.
Some information about it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yes.
Good.
Now I know that you have to go, Devon. So thank you so much for being in our show.
Thank you,
ladies. I'm a huge fan of you two. I love what you do. I always love to watch you arm wrestle, and you're great people. So good luck with everything.
We love you too, and you were the first guest on our show. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.
See you. Now I have to figure.
We're ready! Ready!
Hey, Molly.
Devon,
Yeah.
is that still your name?
Well, I haven't been doing that well lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to win now.
Yeah.
What do you think I should do?
I don't know, like, you could qualify, like...
I mean, I identify as a woman right now.
Yeah.
Do you think I could win a world championship?
I don't know, the Swedes are tough, though.
Sweet girls are tough, but I feel like I'm the greatest woman arm wrestler that's ever lived.
Mm.
Is there a woman that could stop me? I mean, I identify as a woman now.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
It is fair, of course. Nowadays, you know, everybody can do this.
You're stronger than Dave.